music therapy. Give it a try and you'll surely see life is symbolized by the life tree. And truly happy you will be. I was in pain and now I'm free. Helping part by music therapy. Now I am a true.
What's happening?
Therapy.
Trying to make it easy for him.
Happy you will
Send him some
be.
wakey-wakies.
Music therapy. Of pain I'm now free. Music therapy.
Yeah, I'll do this while I'm waiting.
Happy you will be.
You know people can hear us.
Music therapy in pain. I am now free.
I know that now.
I love this song.
So listen closely.
I want to do a punk rock version, and I'm going to ask Robbie to come back on
Uh-huh.
and do the solo with his teeth, because that would just be freaking amazing.
That would be. But it's
It's better with music therapy.
All right, Robbie Stengel.
all right.
I love that, man. Hope you're doing well, Robbie. Yeah, man. Welcome everybody to today's show. And I'm not going to use the clapper and the thing too much on this show, but for Robbie, we have to do that now. Because this is one of several shows that I've started and done, and this is the one I'm most proud of so far, because it's the one that really where my passion lies and where I think a lot of what motivates me, even motivated me to get back into music. Not that I was ever out of it, but like wanting to do it in some way, like as a form of making a living, or, you know, more obviously investing more and getting more into music as a big part of my life, because it's changed me in many ways, saved my life in many ways, almost killed me sometimes. But as we all know, music is a very powerful form of not just therapy, it's enjoyment. It's we had a special show that was a little embarrassing for you, I think, where music is involved in procreation and the onward thrust of our species.
Outwardly, yes, but internally, no. I was fine.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. And
I have to.
We can
I have
do
to
part
put
two.
up a persona of somebody that's not really me sometimes.
Okay,
And that was
all
one
right,
of
yeah.
them.
Just because, yeah, I get what you're saying. All right, so here we are on the Music is Therapy show. That's right. I don't know. Tell me in the chat. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes or no? 1 or 2? Yes is 1. No is 2. Do you like the clapper or do you hate the clapper? Oh, there he is. All right. Look who's here. Brent made it.
I made it. Hey now, guys.
All right. We got to have the smooth and silky voice of Brent Octopus
How am I
on the
sounding
show.
right now? Everything sounding good?
Sounding smooth. Yeah.
Right on.
I think maybe a little louder. What do you think, Janice? What does the
It
chat
sounds
say?
good to me. How about me?
Yeah, it sounded good. I
Okay.
just did it auto.
Yeah, autos. I think it's good. I think we're all good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good morning,
There's no
guys.
echo this time. Everything's amazing. Anyway, yo, bro, dude, that double barrel shotgunny JHS pedal video, man, dude, you're playing. Dang.
Yeah,
Wow.
really.
Thanks,
Wow.
man. Thank you.
Yeah. You got to go out. You got to go out and play for the veterans, man. You'll inspire them for sure. We
Let's
got to
see.
do that. I got to start doing that. I mean, that's part of the reason I wanted to move to Livermore, was to be closer to the Veterans Hospital here, in hopes and plans, of course, not just hopes, but, you start with hopes, then you start plans, and you got those dreams, and then you start working your way toward it somehow, right? And
Yeah, there should be an open mic tonight. Maybe I'll all day, all night. Refer to me. I just saw that. But yeah, so maybe I'll go do that.
Magic Man.
It would definitely look good on stage. That guitar would.
Oh yeah, and not only that, your playing will be good on stage as well because, dude, I don't know. I know you're always playing and noodling around and stuff, but man, I don't hear too many, if any, bad notes there. And
Exactly.
when
Yeah.
people are noodling around at home,
Mhm.
that's not something you don't hear. Usually, you hear like mistakes, and because you're just fishing around. But man, it seems like you're practicing whatever different licks you're trying out and doing, and wherever you're just like gravitating towards on the neck, like you can see it in your face when you're playing, that you're not thinking, you're just in it, you're in the zone, and you're just there instantly. You're able to take yourself there. That's what music does. That's why it's so special as a form of therapy. It'll take you out of whatever pain and whatever other situation. You could even be in another happy situation and go to music and have it accentuated by music,
Yeah, man.
So I'm generally that guy. For the most part, I'm a pretty happy guy. I don't complain much, even though I could be further along in many ways in life than I am. But I also look at, and try to be in the now and try to look at, where am I? How did I get here? And I'm happy with who I am and what I'm doing, though there are so many more ambitions and things I aspire to do and be. And sometimes you remember last time we were listing, I was listing off all the things I want to do. And I kept
You
adding
have to
on
have
to it.
2 more lifetimes.
Dude, two? Are you kidding me? Honestly, I've said this in all, not joking, in all sincerity, to my sweetie and others, that if I could build a robot body and keep my brain alive in it and somehow experience and do all the things I want to do in life, the batteries would probably die out on the robot before I was done. That's the truth, is that there's so much to experience, in the life that we have is so short, and a lot of people just pick one thing.
And
You hear
sometimes
those.
shorter. Some people have it
Yeah,
shorter.
yeah, oh god, yeah. But don't you've heard those like advice people out there, like, oh, pick one thing and just do it perfect and do it good. And I admire that. There's sacrifice involved in that. You're sacrificing all the other things that you wish you could also do. And you're picking one thing. Brent, in some ways, is kind of doing that right now. He's pretty focused on, he's doing the guitar, he's doing his playing, he's trying to get something going on in the music industry and working it in some form or another. And I admire that, because it's hard to do that kind of thing. It's hard to do that. At the same time, sometimes your path in life leads you there, and you don't even choose it per se, right? And that's another side of it that we find living this life that we call,
Yeah, for
this
me,
life.
it's like such an obvious answer. It's like, man, it's just been staring me in the face this whole time, that I need
Mm.
to be finding a way to make money doing this, because I love it so much. There's no reason why I shouldn't. And whether that's a capacity as a salesperson, working at a music store, or whatever that happens to be.
Sorry if you guys hear me chewing and it makes you crazy. Let me know in the chat, because I know eating online, people get grossed out, and maybe I shouldn't. I had a good breakfast. I actually had some leftover hamburger from yesterday's hamburger meal, or was it the night before? Yeah, I made a yummy hamburger when I got home. And here's the secret, you guys. If you want to know what the secret is, this is the secret to the best burger and steaks. You got to put that what is it called? Monterey what's that?
Montreal.
Montreal. Yeah, Montreal.
Montreal steak sauce.
It's
I
not
mean the
it's
steak
like
rub.
it's
The
like
rub.
yeah, it's basically, you get it in a shaker, right? And you
Yeah.
put the Montreal spices or whatever, and it's got a number of yummy things
It
in
is
it.
kind of good, yes.
Yeah, you just mix that up in the burger, add some Hungarian paprika. That's the thing. If you want to spice it up, add a little cayenne pepper or something in there, and some garlic. And that's all you need, man. And just fry that puppy up on your grill, or on your in your stove or whatever. And of course, you got to crisp the buns, whatever kind of buns you get. The other day I had everything bagel style, but not bagel, everything buns. So it's like an everything bagel kind of stuff all over the top of the bun. I love that. Extra flavors. And then I like to make special sauces. So I know you can just go yellow mustard and ketchup or mayo. Some people, I like to mix up Dijon mustard with like the like seed mustard, and add a little garlic to that too, with a little mayo or something. And I mix that up and make like a sauce. And I'll usually use something like that with either onion rings or fries. Um, It's great with artichokes. Like if you're having artichokes and you're just eating the
On your
artichoke.
burger?
Not on my burger, but just on the side when you have like this mustardy thing I'm describing. And then if you want ketchup, go with the ketchup too. But yeah.
And what would you have this
And then
mustardy thing
cheese,
on?
cheddar cheese. What's that?
What would you have this mustardy thing on?
I have it as a dip. I put it in.
Oh.
I put it in the
get
burger.
it
I
now.
dip my onion rings, my fries in it. But basically, maybe I got to do a food channel. Me and Brent. I was
Yeah.
thinking
I
about
gotta do
starting
one
to
too. About
Yeah.
all my creations that you see
There you
on
go.
my Facebook.
I used to do cooking with Roxy, and Maximus is gone, and he was, more into. Now I think Limon is definitely getting into the food.
And
I
look,
mean, definitely.
Roxy's on my
Roxy's
refrigerator
right
right
on
now.
your. He's stuck on your refrigerator right there, right there. Yeah, Roxy's the original flying pickle. Now all of them are flying pickles, and I've officially trademarked my company, Flying Pickle Productions, and I already started working on a T-shirt, which
Cool.
for NAM. I'm going to be
Seriously?
wearing a T-shirt at NAM that says "Music Therapy Laz" on the front. It's got like a guitar and like keyboard keys, and then on the back it says Flying Pickle Productions with like a little flying green pickle bird like Roxy.
So you're gonna have merch before it's actually set up, huh?
No, I'm just making that one shirt because it's like $50 to make a custom
Oh,
T-shirt.
Jesus.
It's like, gee, I gotta find. The one that I found was Blue Bubble. I'm trying to find maybe what I should do.
Redbubble.
Well, there's Redbubble too, and then
Redbubble
there's
too,
Blue,
yes.
but there's all these other bubbles. So this was one of those top quality T-shirt companies out there. I was
Yeah.
looking for,
What was the
to
other one
make
too?
some. But what I might try is there's a
Spreadsheet.
number
Spreadsheet too is another one.
spreadsheet,
Something like that.
something like that. I'll look into it because I really should start monetizing the channel and start, not for my sake as much as to get more stuff going on for everyone out there. Because I think that's part of the thing that I'm missing with monetizing the channel and having membership and all that. I could do more for the community members, the subscribers, the people out there, because there are some members of the community that have more money than others, right? And then there's some that don't, and that way we could spread the love, spread the happiness of music and stuff. And like I was saying in the beginning part, this is a Veterans Day special Music is Therapy show. We're going to talk a lot about that. I did post up a bunch of links and a bunch of organizations that you can connect with on the description. So if you want to donate to a charity,
Power off.
wow, watch out.
It's my speaker.
The power's off, Janice. No. Anyway, you can definitely go
ass.
to the description. Yeah, I know. You can definitely go technology, right? The description, I have a bunch of links there. One of the really, really good links that's there. Let me go to YouTube here on my phone so I can just directly look at it. Oh, Marty's got a cool new video up. Love that guy. Make sure the volume's down. There we go. So, and then we'll say hi to everyone in the chat, but I just wanted to preface this information because it's so valuable for so many people. Even if you're not a veteran, you can get involved with these organizations or get help, But Guitars for Vets, obviously the thumbnail was that. Where is it? No, where'd I put it? That guitar. The thumbnail had that guitar in it because I've got my Guitars for Vets strap on there. Right, hold on, let me solo me here. Where's the thing? Let me just touch screen. So much easier to use the touch screen when you got one, right? Healing power of music in the hands of heroes, right?
Oh, nice.
Guitars for Vets. And I've had this strap now for a while. It's very cool. I almost gave it away one time, but I says, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I'll give it away to a veteran. But this is Henning Pauly's first signature guitar that he had made by Harley Benton. They offered to make one for him. What was that sound? And it's a beautiful, roasted maple, flamed maple neck cap with a beautiful flame maple fretboard. It's got the, that must have been a string. That's what it was, right? It's got the Hitchhikers of the Galaxy logo in the 12th grade. If you don't know much about Henning Pauly, he's a huge follower of that belief. that there is a reason for us here in the universe, but we don't know what it is. The answer is number 42. Hence, 42. The answer to all the questions of the universe is 42.
Isn't that like a Mickey Mantle?
I don't know. I didn't know about that. Is he a number 42?
I think that's what he was. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a beautiful flame maple veneered top guitar with a mahogany body. Oh, that's this thing squeaking, and it's got a real nice red stain to it. It's not bound. It's just the edge of the guitar was just taped off like that. Yeah, see, that's what happens when you're using these. No, oh, this might be the locking kind. Oh, this is a different kind. Okay, that's why. But yeah, this thing makes noises. That's one bad thing about these locks. If you have them, they can squeak. If you don't have the anti-squeak one, the anti-squeak one has an S on it, so it's the, the Shaler locking strap locks. The S type is like silent, so it's like a little rubber thingy there. But this has a P90 in the neck, humbucker.
So why make it to make the noise?
Well, they didn't know about that in the beginning, how bad that noise would be in a studio setting or whatnot, and so they started making the new ones that have the no noise. You learn these things as you go.
Okay, I got it now. So they're no longer making the regular ones.
They probably still do have them for sale and make them because they're cheaper, but because Brent insisted that I play this, I did pull it off the wall, and I have it plugged in right now.
Yeah. William De Silva's right. Strap locks, rubber rings are better than strap locks. I don't like the strap locks either.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I do.
And Ryan Hall, that is not Laz's new guitar. Laz's new guitar is going to be a lot nicer than that. And that's a nice guitar. Just tells you how nice it's going to be.
Wondering why I don't have sound. I didn't put the standby thing on because you just don't use that anymore. Oh. This thing crackles like you can't believe it.
You got to use that electrical stuff.
I go to channel 2. Wonder what happened.
You got to spray the junk into it.
I got to take that amp back. Anyway.
It needs an electrical cleaner.
No, it needs new tubes. It needs new tubes.
That's
anyway, I
that's
didn't
more
know it was
difficult.
going to be that bad. I should have I could turn the jazz chorus on.
You got to talk to Brad about that.
Yeah, I got to talk to Guitar Center about that.
Guitarologist.
Guitarologist, yeah.
He's the tube guy.
He's a tube guy, eh? All right, I plugged it into the jazz chorus. It might play a little bit later, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, so go check out Guitars for Vets. So I've got the link for that. Let me go and I'll stick that into the chat here. I'm going to stick a bunch of these here. And there's the American Music Therapy Association also. They do a lot of work with veterans as well. Most of these organizations work a lot. Ooh, sorry, I should bring you guys back in. Most of these organizations work a lot with veterans, obviously, because a lot of the early discoveries and like trials, medical and whatnot, studies and trials were done with military in mind because, it's so obvious that you can help them with music and something distracting and getting them away from, the thoughts in their minds, the PTSD, the dreams and all that. Sometimes the music can really help a lot with that, And so a lot of studies early on were done with military in mind and military involved and veterans. But let me go ahead and put this into the live chat here. So we've got, first off, this is a good one. This one's the musictherapy.org, and they work directly with military. We've also got Operation We Are Here, an excellent resource that has, you just go to that page and then look to the left side, and there's you can scroll down forever and you'll see organization after organization, some local to you, some local, like there's one in San Francisco here that's Heroes Voices or something like that. That's, you don't have to be guitar centric either. There's a lot of just music centric. And there's another organization that takes people out to Nashville and gets you connected with session musicians there, and they write a song about with you, as a veteran, write a song about your story and your experiences, so that's amazing and very powerful. But yeah, that one's a really good one. And then we've got Guitars for Vets. Oops, did I do 2 in 1? Yeah, I did. Let me get rid of this. So let me put up Guitars for Vets. And there's other guitar and music for veterans organizations too. That's the one that I particularly like to donate to. So I have a monthly donating kind of setup, monthly withdrawals. As a matter of fact, I was gonna go today to give platelets at the Red Cross, but I kind of caught a little bug early in the week, and I was a little concerned because it was a chest cough and stuff like that. And my brother had it. I think he gave it to me, John, the veteran of the family, actually. And I was really kind of cool to hear him say that I inspired him to join the National Guard when he did, because I wanted to join the Air National Guard in Colorado. I signed up. I didn't know that my vision was going to, count me out, as the guy put it. He said, we can't have you peeling potatoes in the mess hall. If the enemy comes from your left, we're all dead. And I'm like, he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I'm going to fly jets. I was a 17-year-old. I mean, I wanted to fly jets when I was way younger than that. I was building plastic models of all this stuff, And even movies inspired me. Like Brent and I were talking about some of the classic World War II movies. One of my favorite comedy, kind of not total comedy, but it's, a little bit, it's a drama, it's an action, it's a little comedic as well. It's got some of the classic actors and people from the 70s and late 60s. Kelly's Heroes. You know that one, Janice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also know even the older ones, like Away
Bridge
All
Too Far.
Boats. Away All
Right.
Boats.
Away All Boats.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. One of my all-time classic favorite war movies is Patton, George C. Scott. And wow.
Victory at Sea.
Victory
at Sea. My first husband was really into all that kind of stuff. I mean, and it was like we had 8 tracks of all these things. Like we had the Clint Eastwood movies and definitely the Victory at Sea. We had like 4
what was that
8 tracks
show? What was that show about the pilots in the Pacific War Theater? The Baba Black Sheep. What was that show called? The one where they flew around from island to island and.
I don't know.
Oh, that was a really good one too. I used to watch that. And then there's Platoon. We used to watch Platoon, black and white. Hey, Hobarodi, what's up? Platoon used to be a late night show we used to watch that came on after the Benny Hill show. So after we watched Saturday Night Live, then we watched the Benny Hill show. This was our weekend thing. And then we'd watch Platoon, and weeknights, summertime, when I'd be, getting ready on the weekend, getting ready in the summertime, you're going to go out and go places and whatever, especially even weekdays, or school days, school weeks on the weekends, you could watch some of these things. But some of those classic movies, man. A Bridge Too Far, one of my favorite all-time war movies. I mean, we must have watched that movie so many times over and over again. And I think it was because in the early days of HBO, I don't know if you guys all know, HBO was the first cable box TV thing you could get. It was a box
office,
right?
Exactly.
It was at your home, a home box office. So HBO, and they were the first ones, and then Showtime followed. They were the first ones to actually have a cable go to your house that you then hooked up to your TV through their box, so you can watch other movies other than the 9 or 13 channels on TV. And that started the whole cable revolution. It was just it was just HBO, and they just had movies. And I remember the first year we had one, I remember they used to show like Orca over and over and over again, and we watched the Orca like so many times that we could practically sing the whale songs from it because we knew him so well. But anyway, HBO was great, and they used to have all these movies on, regular TV shows too, weekend stuff. Um, and yeah, it was great, and I got very inspired by that, and I guess part of what inspired me or made me want to join the Air Force or wanted to be a pilot or something is I like to go fast. And I always wanted to be the fastest, I couldn't be the fastest runner because I wasn't tall enough, but I was pretty close to the fastest dudes, even if
Hey,
they
Jeff
were,
T.
yeah. Hey, what's up, Jeff? And the bottom line is that I would have done anything to fly jets. I mean, obviously, everyone wanted to be an astronaut when they were a kid, and that was the ultimate goal. But to fly a jet, that I still got to find a way to get into one. My brother knows somebody, and we have a friend G. Butchnoff. He might know somebody. But yeah, my brother actually has a friend of his who actually flies still, and he has a company. They do some kind of delivery services.
I passed by the airport on my way down from a guitar hanger store that I went to yesterday, and it's like this is a very small airport, and like all these small planes, and I'm wondering, like what is the history of all the people that are flying these things, because it's not really a big commercial plane. They're all like little tiny things, and it's like mind-boggling to think these people are pilots, and they could have piloted a war too.
Oh wow, Hobarodi said that they filmed A Bridge Too Far down in Anaheim there. Of course, Anaheim in that area, there's a lot of movie these gigantic warehouses, right? Those movie theaters where they filmed, right? And A Bridge Too Far was such a good movie because you really felt like you were there. I remember the Spielberg movie. What's it called? Oh God, with Matt Damon. Wasn't it
Band of Brothers?
No, that was a good one too. There's so many good ones. The one where they have to go after him. Tom Hanks. God.
Oh, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan. Oh my God, if that didn't like put you right into like you were there, that movie definitely put you in there.
That's a
but
great movie.
Platoon was another movie that really, showed the depths of the horrors in some ways and whatnot of wars like the Vietnam War. Yeah, so many others, so many great movies, and we watched all these movies growing up. I don't know how much are there any millennials in the chat outside of Brent? Are you a millennial, Brent, or are you not? You are. All right. Hey, we got a millennial. I gotta hit that. Anyway.
A millennial and a boomer.
John Hockey, what's up? Let's say hi to everybody.
What are you? Are you what
I'm
generation
Gen X.
are you? Okay.
I'm Gen X.
So we're all boomer.
You're boomer generation, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm Gen X.
And a millennial.
Everything nowadays got an X on it. I even have an IRX. Anyway. But yeah, I was watching that video or that Tone Talk show all over again just to clip out snips of information that was in there that can help me, even use that thing in a better way. But yeah, I might be getting rid of some of these amps back here. I got to get this one repaired, but I might not have a need for that anymore. Seriously.
Makes a good show.
Anyway. Yeah, it looks nice up there, but anyway. Yeah. But let's say hi to everybody. We got Ryan Halls here, of course. He says the movie Under Siege was filmed in Mobile, sorry. And we've got William De Silva here as well. Sean Hockey here. Rhodey's Jam Cave. I'm a boomer. That's served. Oh, right on, dude. Hey, thank you so much for your service, man. My brother John served, but he was a National Guardsman, but actually 70th MP unit out of San Mateo, California. They specialized in POW control. So during the first Gulf Wars in the 90s, the early 90s, a lot of the million-man army of Iraq just kind of gave up because they were all conscribed off the streets, handed a gun, and go or get shot. So a lot of those people just surrendered to the U.S. and other allied forces, and there was like compounds of, desert on the desert there where they were basically controlling and had.
Frozen?
It's the Janice Lala show now.
No, it's Octopus Ears show too. So what do we
I will
do?
go ahead. I'll tell a little story.
You know what?
Oh, there
I'm
you
gonna
go.
have
There
to
you go.
call. I'm gonna have to call Comcast. I haven't had time yet, but I'm gonna call them tomorrow because weekends is nuts trying to reach those people. But yeah, this is getting ridiculous. I think I'm suffering from the same thing Phil McKnight says he suffers from almost every year. Almost every year, at near the end of his special contract, right, his internet starts really sucking, and then he has to call them and re-up to the more expensive, better, faster quality version.
Wow.
It's a system. But anyway, what was the story you wanted to tell, Brent?
Oh, I was going to talk a little bit about my grandfather, who's a veteran of the Air Force, and he's got a bunch of funny stories. One was this. Maybe I shouldn't tell this one. I'll tell a different one. So he ended up going to Area 51 to work on, because he was a mechanic. And they needed him to work on something, and so they literally blindfolded him, put him on a plane, took him where he needed to go, took his blindfold off, let him do his job, blindfolded him, and got him out of there. And they asked him if he wanted to do an extended stay there to keep working, and he's like, I don't want any men in black showing up in my house. And
yeah, really.
I don't want any part of this.
So this was recently?
No. My grandpa was in the military back in the 50s.
So
Oh,
when was in the 50s.
Men in Black was a new movie, but the Men in Black they existed before the movie came out.
Well, it's that movie is actually based on the idea that there's this, this organization that's off the books, Men in Black, right? That
right.
all it's kind of like based on the Majestic, and these other, like, what are they? Yeah, these other at the time top secret, top secret kind of there's a lot of conspiracy stuff about it, but top secret organizations that do everything from real military weaponry and top secret stuff like stealth technology and all. I read a really interesting book on that. So it's not alien technology, it's actually developed off of Russian radar data. This guy who wrote and had all this information.
Well, I'll tell you, there's
it's a
so
really
much
good book.
You're not telling us when it comes to the technology we have.
Well, we won't get into that
100 years. The technology is 100 years ahead of where society is. Like they're trying to.
Well, society's like 1,000 years behind the technology too. That's the other problem, is that we don't know. We're not ready yet, I think, in so many ways. You can just see it right now, what's happening in the world. There's part of the world that just does not want to embrace the future
Peace.
And the possibilities, not just peace, but they don't want to change their ways. They believe, their archaic ways of thinking, patriarchal, societies where women don't have any rights or any say. And the level, to me, what's striking, I'll get a little political today because it is Veterans Day, okay, and a lot of people died for these freedoms that we have, so we should respect that. So I have to say this much, that we've come a long way as a species, but some do not want to get out of the dark ages, and they just want to stay in control, and that's all that matters to them. And their ideology does not really have any basis in love or any respect for life. Their ideology is based on control and power, and they need to hold on to that control and power. It's very tribal and very old, medieval, or whatever, way of thinking. We used to have kings and queens. I went and visited the temples in the pyramids and all these places, and we revere these things as steps toward civilization that we live in today. And we look back on, oh wow, the way they were able to build these things, and we're building skyscrapers and stuff, in ways that those people have no clue how we're doing it now. So we've gone way past what their level of thinking and abilities and collective intelligence, working towards goals like going to space and trying to even find a way to live off this planet, which, if you look into the real data of it, it seems pretty freaking impossible altogether. But we're still venturing out there because we know this planet's only so big and it only has so many resources. And at a certain point, if we're going to continue on as a species, we're going to probably have to find a way to do it off this planet as well. It's a big venture, but politically, the bottom line is that most of us want to live in peace and harmony with each other. And you see people from all over the world living in other countries, here in the United States as well. In the building that I manage here, there's about maybe 10 or 11 different, at least 10 or 11 different nationalities, or whatever you want to call, heritages, or, backgrounds, living together in peace. Some newly arrived, like Afghani people, that you can just see on them the joy that they have. I was just gonna say, ugh. I don't know why this is happening, but there you can see the joy on their faces, when it comes to the fact they have a place where they can live in peace and harmony with their neighbors, and they can have their own religion, they can have their own beliefs, you know, they can practice these things as long as it's not hurting other people, right? And so it's an example, whatever you want to call this country's form of government, a democracy or a republic, republican type of state, where you have representatives, whatever, we have something that only started a few hundred years ago and never existed in any form, and has spread throughout the world globally. And for the most part, you see people at a much higher quality of life, and even though we may not have the same American dream here that some of our fathers did, a lot of that didn't exist just 20, 30 years before that. I mean, the country went through a Great Depression, and we had a lot of problems with, rich, powerful people controlling things. And a lot of the colonization of other nations too were resource grabs, right? So we're trying to find better ways of dealing with each other and sharing our resources and stuff with each other. We still use money, but I dream of the day in the future, that Star Trek kind of world, in the future, where money's not something we care about anymore. It's more who and what and what you can, add to society. What can you do? Where that's, I think, what I aspire to, and I think a lot of other people do as well. They just want to be better at something that they can do, so that they can live a decent life, but also give back to the culture and society that has granted them that way of life. And so that's what I celebrate today, and that's what I'm thanking veterans for today. So for like your grandfather, anyone else in the chat here, like Rody, thank you, man, because we have that here because people like you have put their life on the line, and your families have had to live with, you know, the sometimes the traumas of not having, a family member at home, or father, or grandfather, brother,
Definitely a lot of
whatever,
My
sister.
brother-in-law.
Yeah, right.
My brother-in-law. He wasn't,
Yeah, symmetry could be right.
It wasn't during wartime, though.
YouTube messing with the system. No, it probably is just my Wi-Fi is weak here, and I don't know. It might even be that bandwidth is competing. There's more bandwidth competing on this this form of information transfer, whatever you want to call it, because like with 5G. In the beginning, everyone thought, oh, it's going to be so powerful, but then people start to one up their level of how they're using that bandwidth, and then all of a sudden it starts to get filled up too. So you can only use so much out there in the bandwidth of frequencies to transfer data before it starts to interfere with each other, and then you have all these issues. But yeah, YouTube too. It could be YouTube. I mean, there's companies. I'm wondering how many different streams are going on right now in the world,
1, 2,
let alone
3,
videos
4.
people are watching or uploading, and yeah, it's a lot of data that's going through the system.
Like I have like 7 devices on my
yeah,
my
see,
service.
yeah, and hopefully we'll have clean and free energy sometime in the next decade or so. It's very possible, because once that happens, some of these wars are going to be less of an issue, less of a concern. We're not going to need oil maybe as much, maybe just for cooking and keeping the gears running smoothly. Hopefully, right? That'd be nice. And then we can put a lot of that energy that we have towards producing things that can help more people around the world, and we can all live at a higher quality of life, which has been happening, throughout the world, right?
I was
Most
watching
people's
this one commercial yesterday. I was watching Rob Chapman on the way down from that store, and broke to a commercial, 18-minute commercial as I'm driving, all about this guy that was talking about the clean water, getting clean water over to overseas.
right. Well, like right
And
now in Gaza, that and not to mention all the other horrific things going on there, but that's the number one problem outside of not having power is water and food. And water is life, and clean water is very important, but yeah. Anyway,
you're going to start breaking up, I
tangents.
think. I hear him.
Yeah, the first thing I'm thinking of when it comes to if we get that unlimited power, so to speak, when it comes to being able to essentially move dirt, which is what it comes down to, giving the world plumbing would be pretty special,
Right.
because
I
that's a
mean,
big issue around the world.
Yes.
Really, is the lack of plumbing.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's why the Romans were so. I mean, they conquered so many parts of the world, because one of the first things they brought into any part of the world they conquered was clean water and some type of a sewer system. And for 1,000+ years, and I think that was the crux of it. We also have to remember how they
It's so
lost
important.
that empire. You can
Always.
only conquer so many people before you're going to have internal uprisings, and not everyone's going to want to be part of the plan, and that too is an interesting perspective, and we have to think about that, not just as Americans, but as the Western or free world. Who are we to say we got it right? So we do have to still try to have an open ear and open heart and mind and everything towards other people's ideas and what they're trying to teach us too, because there's a lot of truth to that. America has so much commercialism. I mean, just the plastics revolution and the environmental pollution that comes out of that is so devastating to the planet. It's not even funny. I mean, it's horrific. It really is.
There are people taking little steps towards solving those issues, though, which is great
yeah,
to hear.
that's true.
And hopefully
There's that
those
big
come to
garbage
fruition.
eater in the ocean, right? Have you seen that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys know that 80+% of the plastic garbage in the ocean doesn't even come from regular residential and commercial human everyday plastic use? It's actually the fishing industry that just leaves behind plastic nets, bottles, all kinds of the stuff that they use to catch fish. A great percentage of the garbage of plastics out in the ocean is actually from the fishing industry, just leaving their crap out in the ocean after they're done for the day. Yeah, it's fat. Just look into it. I've watched a few documentaries on this stuff, and it's fascinating how little control we have over some of these industries that do so much damage to the ocean. And we really saw how quickly nature bounced back during COVID when everything shut down, right? How quickly in the first 6 months of COVID, how quickly the earth bounced back. It was incredible. It's almost like we needed that reminder, that the earth will go on without us. And secondly, we are doing a lot of damage to it, because look how quickly a lot of things rebounded, and yeah. Anyway.
Hate to say it, I do see a video on my Facebook feed just about every day of an animal being freed from a net or something. It's like
Right.
it's always happening,
And a
unfortunately.
plastic thing from a 6-pack around some animal's neck. The 6-pack plastic thing where
Yeah.
they go into it.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see slightly more regulation on fishing, especially because we way overfish as a population. The way I've always thought of it is, we farm for our food, right? That's how we've provided for societies, is farming. And I think we just need to improve our farming when it comes to fish and not overfish the wild fish.
And we are doing that. Like the salmon that we mostly buy is actually the farmed salmon
Right, but
from
that's why I'm
Costco.
saying improve it, because there are places like in California we have it really good, but other places,
Yeah,
the
you're right.
quality
You're
the
right.
quality isn't as great. So,
You're right. We
if
do
we
have.
if we
We're in a
improve those
bubble.
things, yeah, if we improve those things to where farmed fish is just as good as wild fish, then there's no real argument anymore.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Well, yeah, I agree with you. I think part of it is just like back in the 70s, a lot of moms, because there were a lot more people that stayed at home and, worked from home and had little cottage industries at home and raised their kids and stuff. A lot of moms got involved in and boycotted a variety of industries that were putting out, bad food or food that was things that were damaging the ecosystem. The environmental, organizations started to pop up. We started to have Earth Day. I was always, I'm always Earth Day is always a big deal for me. I always think about Earth Day and just how much our planet has been affected by our presence in it, and it's okay that we do these things in some ways. I think too, because that's part of we are part of nature as well, and we might not last very long if we're not smart and careful about how we're using the environment that we're in. And so we should kind of be careful, right? But the bottom line is that you're not gonna be able to stop a lot of these industries from doing what they do unless you do make laws against them. And there will be, there's some sacrifice that's going to have to occur. There's going to be sacrifice in the sense of some of these industries not being able to make as much money as they want to make. you know I mean, oil companies are one of the biggest polluters, and what is plastic made from? Petroleum products. So, the bottom line is that a lot of these industries are out to push their product as the end all be all, best and only way of either making energy or storing things or whatnot. And there are other forms. We can grow hemp for example, and make it grows very quickly and easily. It's a weed. It's called weed for a reason, because it grows like weed. And they used to make rope for ships out of it back in the old days, right? They probably still do. But you can make everything from paper to clothing to all kinds of stuff with stuff like hemp, right? And
Natural stuff.
this has never happened this often on the show either. And the bottom line is that we do have other ways of doing it. It's just not as profitable for people. And there are a lot of people that get involved in politics and create some of the laws and policy that block us from being able to go after and use these other more green technologies as a way of producing everything from. I mean, look at all the guitar related products out there that you can get that are not made from wood. All right, and wood can be grown, by the way. And a lot of them are either plastics or other things. We don't need those plastics, do we? Do we need those plastics? I mean, can't we use the bone nuts? Can't we use? I understand the need for resin guitars and rich light and things like that, but what's wrong with using wood or bone or whatever instead, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the issue is I think truthfully what we're seeing in South America right now, where they're wanting to modernize and industrialize, and it's unfortunately causing them to destroy some of their rainforests as a
Yeah.
result. And so, using things like plastic. I don't think plastic's the enemy. It's just a matter of us finding a better way to not pollute with it, finding better ways to keep it out of our food system, finding ways to recycle it better. Because the thing is if plastic will melt without burning. And so you can always reuse it if basically you make the right machine to recycle it properly. I've always had this vision of creating this machine that cleaned the plastic and broke it back down into reusable little pellets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they do that. I mean, there are things like that. I mean, we've been using recycled plastics of all kinds for quite some time. The bottom line though is that then they might not be translucent. So a lot of the clear plastics that you see mostly being used, um, can't probably use that kind of product unless they do a better job of separating it. But we're getting off the veterans subject here. Let's go back to veterans. What do you guys say? Who else did we miss in the chat, by the way? We have L&M Guitar Corner here, which is probably Martin, because usually Lucas says it's Lucas here. He's talking about the stain that he's doing on that very cool looking 335 guitar build that he's doing right. Hobarodi says that smelt and salmon have a far more important job than filling the market, right? And bears to poop out the salmon all away from the creek. That washes the phosphorus back out to sea. Trees want phosphorus. There you go. Thank you, Hobarodi. Dave Chase, welcome to the show. I don't know if I've seen you here before, so welcome to Music Therapy Last Show. And then we've got Sean Hockey, of course. I think we said hi to Jeff G. Who else did we possibly miss here? If you're new to the chat or the show, give us a thumbs up. Say hi in the chat. I didn't have a giveaway slated for this, but I could do that. Should we do that? Let's do it. It is Veterans Day. Let's hopefully a veteran wins. Hobarodi won the other day, so he's a are you a veteran? It was Rhodey's Jam Cave that said he's a veteran. But let's look up StreamYard. Number or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and just let it ride. So whoever's been in the chat commenting will be in the running for this little giveaway here. And we already have 19 entries so far since this all started. That's amazing. 30 people in the chat, man. Right on, you guys. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys are liking this particular Sunday show, this Music is Therapy thing. So let's get back to the Veterans Holiday thing. So another side of this, like Brent, why don't you were going to tell a story about your grandpa. Why don't you do that? Because I want to hear at least one story. And then I'll tell you a story from my grandpa, which is going to be different probably because he fought on the opposite side of the war during World War II.
I guess I don't really have a story then, right?
I don't know how many. I mean, I have some funny stories, but I don't know if it's necessarily appropriate to tell them right now. Military is a little use for anyone like me.
I don't know about that.
Might be surprised. There's a lot of jobs that require you to just sit and watch things.
You can just go play music for veterans, and there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell one story. All
right. Tell one story.
So when my grandfather was going through boot camp, he had this one, and you got to think about the times it was back then, right? It was the 50s, so racism was, still going on pretty heavily back then. And he had, my grandfather and his group had this really big white guy for a drill instructor, and he was just, he wasn't afraid of saying anything, and basically called this small black guy the N-word and was getting in his face and giving him a hard time. And that short black guy's like, hey, you know what? Let's go in this room next door and we're gonna have it out. I'm not letting you talk to me like that. Goes in the room, and the guy was a foot shorter than him and beat the crap out of that instructor because apparently he was a professional kickboxer.
Well, there you go.
And so that was one way to shut up the instructor.
Right. Well, the instructors are given a job, even though, the racism side of it was totally unnecessary, obviously. But They are given a job, I guess, or taught in this old world way of thinking that you got to break the man to rebuild him into an army man kind of thing. And maybe that's why we have so many problems with, military coming back into regular life after war, is that they aren't then remolded, if you want to call it, if that's even possible. They have boot camp, and they should have a boot camp for getting out of the military too, because you are turning a human into a weapon and teaching him to go out and kill,
You'd think at
by
least a class or something, just to break, just something to give them,
just
like, hey,
reorientation back to society.
Yeah.
I mean, just like
I don't know if there is
coming out
something
of
like
prison. I mean, there should have something like that, for military, for both of them.
Right. And that would cost money. So us, the taxpayers, would have to push our leaders, or whatever you want to call them. I don't like to actually call my political people my leaders. I like to call them our followers, because they're doing the job that we've sent them to do. That's what it should be.
Mhm.
I think maybe even starting to try to reevaluate how we use words in this culture and society might help too, because can you imagine if we start calling them not leaders, but they're our followers? Because guess what? We're giving them money and putting them in the positions of power to do, what we the people want them to do,
Yes.
right? And they should be following what we want. And generally, I guess they're called leaders because, okay, they find ways to make these things happen. So there's that magic part of a person's personality, or what that can make things happen, that can bring things together, people together, movers and shakers of the world, the ones who are able to inspire others, and with a speech or whatever, and get people to work together to create things, make things better for each other, right? So bottom line to me, though, is that I think that ultimately that's what their job is there to do. It's not what they do a lot of the time, though.
I think Rhodey hit it on the head right there, truthfully.
Yeah, you might be right about
be
that.
Our leaders, not our representatives.
Well, I think that they present that side of themselves.
Ego, man, truthfully.
Yeah. But here's the real truth to that.
And Jeff
They
know
that.
Something good to say.
Mm-hmm. But do you really believe that they believe that? Because I don't. I think that they know exactly what they are. I think a lot of times they are exactly what they are, and a lot of times they are representatives of the people that pay them the most to get things done.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe
the money.
Maybe they're that way for donors and to the people that give them money.
Right. You have to check out Down Detector, downdetector.com.
Down Detector.
That's where you go.
Yeah. So Ryan Hall's dad was a Marine, and father-in-law, 27 years, officer and submarine commander. Wow, dude, that's a fascinating dude. Do you have any stories about that? Because submarine commanding, man, being in a submarine, that's quite an interesting.
That I don't have the gusto. I don't have what it
that's
takes
right.
To do
See,
that.
There's that thing, man. You've got to be that guy, right? I mean, you've got to be like, I'm willing to be, bunked up in a little, metal sausage in the ocean with a bunch of other sausages.
My father was 4F.
Oh my God. And his father got shot in the heart on D-Day. That bullet in his heart till he died at 80. Wow. So he lived till he was 80 with a bullet in his heart from D-Day? That is an amazing story, Ryan. Wow.
Savage.
Wow. That is. Wow. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. I think that's what I'm talking about. How we use words, right? How the media promotes these usages of words and stuff because they make money off of this stuff, The bottom line to me is that, politics and representative government and all these things, you don't always see people doing it for the right reasons. And it's hard to tell. Some of them are really good at fooling everyone out there with, what they're saying they're doing and or gonna do or want to do, and what they really do or do actually. You can see in their behavior. That's another side of it, is look at their real life and their real behavior in real life to see how do they go about doing business and how do they go about treating others, and that should be reflective of their true nature and personality. right? But it's not always easy, especially out in the world today. But it's a little easier now in some ways, I think, because you can get a lot of information on people, but then there's so much information that then it gets a little cloudy, right? So it's tough. It's tough, but I really think we were talking about this in the other show, or maybe it was a personal conversation, that ethics is missing from a lot of our educational, and critical thinking is missing from a lot of our educational system, and we need to bring it back.
Well, the problem
It's
is
not
that
all about
in
the
our
dollar.
society, those are college level courses, and that's just not right
It
to
shouldn't
me.
be.
I
It should
agree.
be
I
Just
was
like
eighth
learning
learning the
grade.
ethics
laws
as a
of the
child.
land shouldn't be a college level course, in my opinion, either.
Mhm.
You should be able to
There's
learn the basic laws of the land.
there's a meme going around Facebook about a whole bunch of things that should be taught in schools. And it's like
Right.
how to budget your checkbook or something like that, and how to how to buy a
Taxes.
car, or whatever it is. But there's a lot of things that they don't teach in school that they really should be taught
But there's a reason
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
being taught. That's the issue too.
to
Yeah.
keep
But here's
everybody suppressed.
well, it's
No one's
not
ever going to
that
teach you how to
simple.
overthrow them.
It's not necessarily keep people depressed per se, but it is definitely to keep people uninformed and uneducated, so that those who do have the information and education can take advantage of the others. And that is what's occurring. I don't know if you know this fact, but this is fact. I can attest to this and show you the information. But and you can look it up fairly quickly. Just Google it. But look at, when it comes to the 1%ers, the 1% in the United States, their children have a 77 times more likely possibility of getting a Ivy League education. 77 times more than anyone else. 77 times more likely to get an Ivy League education.
Yeah, the whole idea of equal opportunity.
The system is set up so that those who have the power can keep it. And it's not that this is some new thing. This has been going on since, like, when I visited the pyramids. Guess why they were revered as gods? They had information so far beyond the understanding of the average people that the average people looked at them as if they were gods, and how do you keep everyone else under your power? You have the knowledge, they don't. If you don't know how to make clean water or get clean energy for yourself, you got to rely on someone else to give it to you, right? And who's going to have that power? The ones who have the knowledge and have the hands of control of that stuff. So that's why, to me, why I appreciate, especially yesterday and this weekend, celebrating from Friday on. I think we've been celebrating the veterans for, they gave their lives to keep what they believed in. I heard this old man who looked like he was maybe 100 years old, talking about how this country's going to hell in a handbasket because we're losing a lot of the things that he fought for as a person, military person. The freedoms that he fought for, he sees it slipping away in America. Democracy's, challenged. And when I say democracy, I mean representative government is being challenged. We, the average people, don't have as much power as we used to, because big money and corporations have gotten such a strong hold of that through acts like the Glass-Steagall Act was eliminated, so now banking industries are colluding with investment industry, and they are fixing and cooking the books and controlling even the direction of some of the policy when it comes to everything from the lending rate, the ability to get a loan for anything, to start a business, to and there too, there are the laws where it makes it so much harder for a small business to get started today compared to 20, 30 years ago. The bottom line is that we can do something about it, because guess what? We're the ones buying the stuff. In the 70s, like I was mentioning, what a lot of these moms and people did is they boycotted industries and boycotted companies that were doing things they felt to be immoral or not right, like killing dolphins to get the tuna. That was one big one back then. And they stopped buying from some of these companies, had to change their ways, or they went under. And you see that as the greatest power that we have collectively. We have the numbers. They might have, the money, but we have the numbers, and they need us more than they realize they need us sometimes. And so as long as we know that we have that power, and I'm not talking kumbaya, socialism stuff here. I'm just talking about grassroots American values here, really. We the people, that's the first few lines in the Declaration of the Independence from tyranny, from a king who was, and the people that were around him at that time, controlling colonial America, right? We the people, man. So thank you, veterans, for giving us, what power we still have. And let's not forget, how many lives were lost for that.
Oh, we lose them every day, man, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. And there's, war going on right now in the world. But sometimes I have these conversations with my mom, and she's like, but Laszlo, it's true. But, more and more of the world is living a better life. More and more people have freedom. More and more, there's less and less war going on. And if you look at, not just the news and all the, the sky is falling information, but you really look at that, you see that we have come a long way, but we still have a lot of people.
Yeah, as far as we've come, we definitely still have a ways to go. I think that mirrors the sentiment that Laz was trying to get out. Frozen Laz. Laz needs to thaw out. Go out in the sun, Laz. Go thaw out.
Yeah. I have a.
Anyway, I'm back.
I do have a.
I'm going to hook the wire up after this first thing tomorrow.
Sorry, did. We were talking about songs and stuff like that. There's a list if you want to take a look. If we don't really have time to talk about songs, but you guys just do a Google search on war songs, and you see the whole bunch of songs that are really related to it, like the Eve of Destruction. What other songs?
I always remember that one song, War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Well, it's good for people that make bombs and guns.
Give peace a chance.
Yeah.
What's so funny about peace?
Well, I'm wearing this shirt for a reason today.
Oh yes.
I almost got that tattoo a while back. What's so funny about peace, love, and understanding?
I got this at the Hard Rock in Vegas when I was there a couple of years ago.
Give peace a chance. Even run to the hills.
Even run to the hills.
They said that it's in the category, so maybe that's got more meaning than rock and roll than we see here. Oliver's Army. Boil of Confusion. Exactly.
Ryan, you have a really good point here. I'll go into this a little deeper too. And this is why I'm, if you guys know anything about my politics, I'm neither Republican or Democrat, or, I've always been an independent voter. I've always, put myself up as an independent voter, and I go by policy. Whoever is, putting out the policy that makes the most sense to me is the direction I go. I don't go by, party, affiliation or something like that. I think that's groupthink, and I think it's dangerous, and that causes a lot of problems. When one party says you have to fall in line with everything we say, otherwise, we're going to cut your funds and you can't run and all that. That's why the Republican Party's in such trouble, and I think even the Democratic Party's in such trouble. I mean, it's just fat. It's fat. Yeah. Just blows my mind that we can't find better leaders than the ones that supposedly we have up there as leaders, but that's what the parties are putting forward, or that's who's rising up to the top. And people have lost some, for obvious reasons, they have lost some faith in our political system, but they have to remember that they are the system. If they don't get involved in it and be part of it, then whoever else is in that system is going to take it over. And that's kind of what's been happening. It's been happening for way too long. Yeah, I'm a progressive as well. You can definitely call me more of a progressive, liberal type thinking person. because to me, what liberal means is open-minded to other ideas. Conservative means, status quo, and let's keep the old way going. Now, there are, old ideologies that are sound, like our Constitution and things like that, or sound ideas and policies. So I'm not saying we don't conserve those. So that's why I think these words, the way they're used, and words like liberal and words like, all this stuff about what was it called that everyone's been using lately, or you woke. I'm like, what the hell is this whole woke thing? It's just another category or box that some people want to put you into so that they can then categorize you and toss you into their bonfire of whatever. To me, none of that serves to make things better or to resolve problems. The only way we're going to resolve problems is if we come together and try to find solutions to those problems instead of just calling each other names. Name calling doesn't get you anywhere. It just gets you nowhere. It just starts wars. That's what happens, when people start fighting each other and nothing happens. But what does Rhodey got here? And then we're going to end it pretty quick here. When I got out of the Army, we hid the fact we were veterans. Then in the 90s, we were told if you can't support the war, you must at least support the military. And, I've always supported the military, regardless of the war, whatever the war is, because they're sacrificing their lives in a belief to keep their families safe and to keep their, culture and society safe from whatever threats there are out there. And they, as a military, person, don't create those policies. They don't make the rules. They, for the most part, follow them. Now, the danger there is just like the German, Nazi military people followed somebody's rules. Doesn't make it right that you do something wrong. Okay. But at the same time, they are putting their lives on the line and hope that whatever they're sacrificing for is for the better. And so you can't not support that, So I've always been in support of those in the military for that reason alone, if anything else. They're putting their lives on the line. And I wanted to join, not just because I wanted to.
Though, that military in specific was heavily leaning on drugs as well, and that's something we've fought against. And so that's what I'll say about that part of it too, is that, the U.S. military has never been one to experiment with heavy drugs to try to benefit our soldiers. It's always been
we actually did that, dude, back in the late 60s and 70s, and during the Vietnam War we did mess around with LSD. In the early 50s too, everybody, all militaries around the world, especially right after the Second World War, was looking at, how they could use, because they saw how the Germans used, amphetamines and other drugs to pump up their, soldiers and go out there and fight. Bottom line is that, a lot of times leaders, they'll use whatever ideas they can to
LSD
win the day.
And methamphetamine are not the same thing at all.
No, I'm just saying that they experimented on these things as a way of winning a war, of using them as some source of.
But they never did with
I never did
control or weapons.
The number one used substance
by the new to me,
the Germans.
I didn't know that this was
right. No, I mean, if you can look into U.S. military history and use, there was some. I mean, I studied this in psychology, so there were some, trials or whatever you want to call it, looking into, the effects of all kinds of drugs on the human body to see whether it could be used either as a weapon or used, to motivate a soldier to fight harder or win the war.
Sure, research.
Right, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
But I'm talking about actually. But I'm talking
people
about
volunteered
using it as but I'm talking about actually using it as a widespread technique to try to get the most out of your soldiers, which the U.S. never really did.
No, you're right. No, they didn't. But like Ryan Hall makes the very, strong point here, which is true. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, so
I guess my point being is that there's studies out there about LSD that says it doesn't have any long-term effects as well. That's really what
unless you have a bad trip.
Well, yeah, LSD stays in your spinal fluids for the rest of your life forever. So there
Yeah.
doesn't.
Get
No.
flashbacks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It
you
does.
certainly
Can't
can. I
happen.
had a friend that had flashbacks from it for sure. Yeah, you
Mhm.
certainly can.
Yeah, Rhodey knows. Hitler fed his, SS with, yeah, and a lot of those
But yeah,
kids and a lot
your
of those
teeth
people,
don't
they didn't have any
your teeth
choice.
don't fall out and you don't go crazy though, is kind of my point.
Yeah, yeah, it's not like reefer madness. Yeah. Though I've seen that effect on some people. It depends on you, I've seen some people have that effect on them. Anyway, but yeah. So anybody else want to say something about Veterans Day here, and then we'll call it. I'm gone a little bit long here, but I was kind of expecting to a little bit, and then I've got a busy day after this. I'm actually going to be leaving out of the studio room. I wish I could stay here and play the guitars, but I don't have time for that.
I did get a
Unfortunately.
text during the show, Laz, that Johnny's not going to be able to make it tomorrow.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna announce it. He sent me the message too, but
Okay.
yeah. But you did, so here we are. We've announced it.
Well,
Johnny
we
was
were
planning.
talking about making a little video and a little show tomorrow and doing something
Yeah,
like that. So that might not happen.
it's not gonna happen. I did send him back a message saying, "What about Wednesday then?" Because I was gonna take some time out of my day of work to make that happen, and I'm willing to do that on Wednesday from
Okay.
11 to 1 if Monday's not working. So and Dale Palmer is in. So because Dale's here, we're gonna do the giveaway tool. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And before we do that, though, I'm gonna just share this slide that I still haven't updated. Thank you, all those supporters here, and don't forget, you can still support the show. I haven't stopped receiving support or something. I haven't had any new PayPal's in a while, but I do appreciate them. It does help pay for like the sending of the gifts to people that I'm sending out. I sent out the last two. I've got to send out Hobo Roadies. Hobo Roadie, if you're here, what type of strings do you like to use? I've got some 10s, I've got some 9s, 9 to 42s, 9 to 46s, 10 to 52s, 10 to 46s. I've got different styles, different kinds, So tell me what pack of strings you want, and I'll send them to you. And then I think we were talking about giving you the No, those are the ones I gave to Johnny, the Ernie Ball ones that came with my Henning guitar that I've had since I had the Henning guitar. So anyway, but M Steels, those are really good. But yeah, thank you everyone who's a supporter, and I do have to update this. There are people on there that have even donated more than what I have stated there. So if you can donate some more. It helps run the channel. Obviously, I have to pay for StreamYard, and I haven't been paying for StreamYard Pro, which if I do get more money coming into the channel, I will upgrade to that. And I will actually hook up the computer and get all this stuff so we can actually do real demos. Because yeah, that's part of what I
That'd be
started
awesome,
all of
man.
this for. Yeah.
What kind of tiers do they have? Do they have tiers?
Whose?
Do they have tiers?
Yeah, they have a top tier. I'm using the middle tier, and they have a top tier that lets you, because like right now I'm also streaming live to Facebook, so you can stream to even more services, and then there are more things you can do. So you pay more, you get more. You have more saved videos in their system, all this, you can do more stuff. I mean, I can dual stream, like if one of you guys had a big channel like Johnny's, a bigger channel, and you wanted to dual stream to Twitch like you did the other time, you can do that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
there's even more that you can do. Yeah. Timothy Lay, thank you for joining, and thank you for that. Yeah. That is one place where they do try to teach morality and ethics too. A big part of the military training is, that you are being trained to use and handle a weapon and be a human weapon, and, realize the responsibility in that. And so they do teach that, So Ryan says,
This
cost
cost
$7 to ship a guitar dock to me.
This
That's
cost
right.
$585.
Yeah, are you using your guitar dock, Ryan? Isn't it amazing? I heard some people on other channels talk about, oh, I don't take my Les Paul out with me because it always falls down. I want it to break the neck, and get a guitar dock. Look, I got one right here. Okay, hold on, let me solo me for this. I got a bunch of them here. So let me get that out of the way. So I got a guitar dock holding the telly over there. I got a guitar dock holding the Strat over here, and I've got a guitar dock magically holding my Les Paul from falling down right over here. I still have to put that back together, but oh jeez, what am I running over here? Oh yeah, I sent Ryan. As a matter of fact, we're going to give away a guitar dock today. How about that? Let's do that as the giveaway. If you don't know what a guitar dock is, we can grab one. See if I have one in the box here. Oh, I do. It's the last one until the big Christmas giveaways. We're gonna have our, usual Christmas or Rockmas guitar dock. This is the best thing invented in a long time. Thank you, Daddario. Yeah, you love it for your ovation. You see, the guitar dock. See, you can flip it down, easy to pack away. This part here, this thing right here, turn that, and this clamps down onto any surface like the edge of whatever. You can put it on your you can even put it on your guitar or like a mic stand. You clamp this on it, and guess what? You can twist this sideways. Check this out. Oh, it's kind of strapped down right now, so I can't do that. But you can twist this like in different directions. It'll twist like this, like that too. So you can clamp it onto something sideways, twist this, and it'll hold your guitar. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know what? Let's get the unboxing knife out. I'm going to open it just to show it to you. My Petra knife. It's not that sharp at the tip. I'm going to have to use something else. I don't want to break the guitar. Well, you know what? I'm going to use these snips. So I have those out ready to continue with the Kramer build. CC's guitar. Okay, so let's say you want to, crank, onto like you can just tighten this onto any size, right? Onto like a mic stand, and then you just turn this sideways, and there it goes. Clamp it onto your mic stand, and then your guitar can lean up against your mic stand. I mean, is that killer or what? Anyway,
good idea.
Guitar dock. Oops, that just fell down on the ground. So that's what you're going to win today. But I took it off the packaging. I'll put it back. And let's go ahead and do the drawing. Anything else? Yeah, clamp to anything vertical or horizontal. I gave you some sharp knives. You did. Yeah. They're over there in the box. I haven't even messed with those yet. I haven't had the time. But yeah, when you come by here, Akirs, if we do this on Wednesday with Johnny, which is also a possibility for him, he usually comes this way on Wednesday, so we might be able to pull that off. I'll give you your knife. Johnny didn't want one. He's like, what am I gonna do with a knife? Johnny's like, I'm like, it's emergency knife for your car. He's like, yeah, probably when I need it, I won't be able to reach it anyway. You're probably right. Anyway, so go ahead and put that stuff away. But yeah, somebody earlier on was asking about the trip. I do have a video up from Gear and Demo show video when I talk about that trip. But yeah, we can talk some more about that trip at some point. I might even want to do like a Q&A show again. What do you guys think? Janice, we did a Q&A show on the Gear and Demo show months ago. We should do another one for Gear and Demo show this coming Thursday. And then if people want to see some more info on Petra and stuff, I can show you guys some more pictures and whatnot. If you're not part of my Instagram, go check it out there. I posted some stuff there, and I'll post some more. As a matter of fact, I also have a Gear and Demos well, it's the Music Therapy Labs page on Facebook too. You can jump in there too and see stuff, and I'll start posting more pictures. My sweetie promised that this weekend she's going to put the last part 3 of all the pictures up on her Facebook, and so once she's done with that, then I get carte blanche to put whatever I want up next. So I'm going to then do that. Oh, Hoborodi says it's almost like I'm a bass player. The strings last sent me a couple years ago are still hanging on the wall. Right on. Well, they might be NYXLs, probably why, right? You get good strings, they last a while, depending on how much you play too. Like My strings on my guitars last longer because I don't play the guitar all the time. Like some people, like Brent, he probably goes through strings faster than I do. He's got more acidic sweat too, right?
2014.
Yeah. I haven't cut myself yet.
2014.
What, 14? Play
2014. That was when I changed those strings.
Oh, 2014 is the last time you changed strings on your guitar?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Do you need strings, Janice, or you're okay with the sound?
They're fine.
Do you clean them?
They're pretty good.
Yeah. Do you
matter of fact,
use, if you look along the high E, if you look along the string on the high E, does it look shiny all the way across, or does it have spots of like corrosion? That tells you.
It's pretty good.
All right. Well, you must not have you must have dry hands.
I actually went to a guitar setup and repair class in 2014, and I set this one up. I set up my telly, and both of them have never had a string change since. And
wow. And do you know what strings are on there?
And I intonated the B string and the A string last night.
Ryan, the safety treatment. You know, I do know how to handle a knife. Just saying. Anyway, all right. So I think we're good for the show. But let's go ahead and hit that button on the this drawing thing. And I do promise that I will get around to updating the you know presentation of the supporters thing page, whatever you call that thing. All right. So let me bring this up. We got to present this now. Present share screen of the giveaway tool. Here we go. Okay, you guys see that? As soon as I click on this again, add to the stage, right?
There you go.
You guys see that? All right, so I'm gonna hit the button, as they say. And it's gonna have to be Dale because he's never in the live stream. He usually waits till the end. Oh, it's William De Silva again. He just won. We have to start over again. Well, okay, it was over a month ago.
We gotta go out on a limb and say he doesn't want another guitar doc.
All right, we're William. I hope you're okay with this. We're gonna do it again. Draw again, because you did win recently. Oh, Blackjack guitar. Blackjack guitar. All right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I think you have one in the past, but that's been years ago, I think. So if I don't have your information, send it to me again. You could either use my Instagram, you can message me on Messenger, you can send me an email to this. That's at gmail.com. That's the easiest way. In the description, by the way, there are links where you can just go to my description, read all that crazy stuff, and hit one of those links way at the bottom of all the information that I spent time putting together for you guys. and yeah, man, click that PayPal link too and help me out if you don't mind. Where's that thing? Right. Anyway, so until next time, you guys, which will be next Thursday, come check out the Gear and Demo show where we're gonna have a Q&A show with Janice Ockers and possibly Johnny Bean if he's not busy. He's been really busy lately. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot going on, man. Not only is his channel growing by leaps and bounds. I mean, I think he's gained like 6,000 subscribers, and I'm still at 700 and something. But I've been slowly growing. Like I think I got 5 new subscribers this week, which was really cool.
Nice.
I got 844.
Wow, you're surpassing me, Janice. But you guys do more music and stuff, and I think people like that. I gotta do more music. I think music will draw more subscribers. I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Yeah. So I do need to spend more time actually playing an instrument or two. And I miss doing it. I don't spend a lot of time doing it. Unfortunately.
I gotta get on my game because I'm really slacking. And and I'm getting some followers on Twitch, so I gotta do some stuff on Twitch now.
Well, let's do a latency jam. You guys want to do a latency jam out? Let's see.
A what?
Latency
jam.
Right now?
Latency jam. Why not? Why not? Is that too loud? Oh, that's like a flatbacky echo. How does that sound? Does it sound any bit good at all, or is it like terrible?
Sounded pretty
Brent,
good.
you don't want to join in?
Sorry, no, sounds fine. No, I'm afraid my setup's making too much noise right now. I need to get it silenced before I.
Ah, who cares? It's a latency jam. Nobody cares, right?
All right.
I hate these things.
How does it go?
GC and D. Play something over this.
You guys know. How do you play to me, Janice? Let's play America the Beautiful.
Come on.
Do you know it?
No.
This is the latency
GC
jam
and D.
where everyone plays their own song.
You do something over this.
Okay, say it again. What are the chords?
GC and D. I can't really hear what anybody's doing with these headphones on. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why don't we get together, see how it goes? If it's yes or if it's never, then we will know. If it's love or if it's not, I think we should give it a shot. If it's love or if it's not, I think we should see what we got. Let's see how it goes. If it's love or if it's not, I think we should see what we got. If it's love or if it's not, I think we should give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. Then we will know. Let's see how it goes. Then we will know if it's love or if it's not. I think we should give it a shot. If it's love or if it's not, I think we should see what we got. Let's see how it
All right. Yeah, drum solo, right, Brian? All right, you guys. Thank you for making me play the guitar. That was awesome.
Here we go.
Oh, Janice is gonna bring the drums. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm done. I can't hear what anybody's doing anymore.
I think that's the name of the song. I can't hear what anyone's doing anymore. All right, you guys, that's the show. Thanks for coming. I'm playing us out, you guys. You rock. Everybody in the chat rocks. We got a new winner. I forget who it was now. All I have to do is look at the StreamYard giveaway tool thing, but Blackjack Guitar, congratulations. You won a guitar dog. All right. See you guys next time. Don't forget to send me your information. I don't know if I have it. That way I can send you a guitar. Or if you don't want it, the guitar doc. If you don't want it, send me information to somebody you'd like me to gift it to. Preferably in the continental United States. If you live somewhere outside of the continental United States and I can buy you a guitar dock and have it shipped to you or picked up by you from where you live in some other country like Kazakhstan or the European Union somewhere, I can get you one from Anderton's or Thoman's or whatever. They all carry the Dario product, right? Even if you're in Australia, let's say you're in Australia, they've got to have a store that carries a guitar dock. So anyway, until next time, you guys, be good. Or
ask Shane in the blues. He'll know.
He'll know. He'll know. Until next time, you guys, rock on, man. Have a great day.
Rock on, everybody.
Thank you, veterans,
rock on.
for your service. And see you next time.